Welcome to the gig game demo of Run QMC. This is our application that allows DJ and karaoke hosts to take requests from a crowd. The crowd scans a QR code using their mobile device, which opens a web application, allowing them to see their own requests, to make new requests, to manage requests, as well as see the requests of others, and even upvote those requests to allow the DJ or karaoke host to know not only what songs people want to hear, but what songs the whole crowd may want to hear. All right, to get into the application, I'm going to start here on the Gig Game Hub, the application browse screen. These are all the applications on inside our system. All right, so the first thing I want to do here is hit play now on Run QMC. And what it's telling me here is I already have a game event defined. Now, a game event is simply an event, just like it sounds, at a time and location, all right? And it's associated with a specific game application. In this case, it's the Run QMC application. I can have multiple events defined at the same time. So I can have, for example, maybe different locations I'm going to throughout the week and I have them scheduled ahead of time, or they could just be different times at the same venue, whatever you really want. In any case, it's just alerting me I already have one, and I'm saying I'd like to reuse the one I already have instead of starting a new one. Okay, so as the DJ, this is what you're going to see on your laptop screen. This is a list of the music request queue that people have made. Number one is, of course, the song you'd be playing now. Number two would be the next request. Number three, the request after that. You get these, both the song and the artist are free-form entry, so this is whatever the user's entering. That's why on number 6 you see something where it says Sabrina Carpenter, anything that she's made. Of course, everything's great. Votes here, that's what the crowd is upvoting a song. So if person A makes a request, person B, person C, person D can see the request on their mobile device and can say, hey, I want that too, and they can upvote it. And you as the DJ, you have the ability of seeing that. You can even sort by that if you want to kind of sort them and play them in order that way if you'd like. All right, but I'd recommend moving them up and down because this order here is what shows on the cues on the actual HUD, which we're going to see in a moment. All right. So with that, let's actually jump into what the HUD really looks like. So we're going to be hitting this button down here, this open HUD button. Before I do that, let's minimize this so you can see everything end to end what's actually happening. All right. I'm going to hit this open HUD, and generally your laptop would be connected via HDMI to a TV, and you treat that as a second screen. And so you would drag this to that second screen, you would click that button to start it, and boom, this is what your crowd sees. This would be a TV that everybody can see. They can see the songs they've requested, the order they're in, what's coming up next, who's favored and what. This is without even having to be on their mobile phone. This is public to everyone. There's also that QR code in the lower left. That's what they can actually scan to join in and participate and submit more songs through their mobile device. All right. So you can also print that out if you want to. That's entirely possible. But generally, the way this was designed is that it's displayed on the TV, the HUD system for everyone to see. All right. So you'll notice we have a cat with lasers coming out of its eyes. This is totally settable. This isn't always that. If back here, there's a set background button on your host console. And if you notice when I click that, there are a bunch of videos here, and these are all looped. And their themes of Halloween. There's Christmas. So let's say we have we have one a spooky mood type thing. Well, you have that there. You have some crazy ones here. For example, I don't know, going through a tunnel of some sort. Some more generic ones. Let's see another one here. So all kinds of them. Fireworks celebration. We have there's lights. Let's pick a good one here. All right, I like that one as a good generic. Okay. So anyway, you could set whatever you want. Generally, what the player ends up seeing, let's get rid of this, the image of our console for a minute, and let's actually show you what the player's seeing. So when the user scans in with their phone, they see this. And there's two tabs. There's the My Request tab. This shows all the stuff that this particular person has requested and the order that it's in. And then there's the all request tab, which shows all the requests that everybody's made. And they have the ability of coming in here and saying, hey, you know what? I like Cruel Summer, so I'm going to heart that. And then suddenly you see up here, Cruel Summer will actually gain a heart as well. So yeah, there it is right there. So to add a new song, all they have to do is come in here and let's say they want Houdini by Dua Lipa, and they add it in here. Boom, suddenly it's in there. Or, the user even has the ability to say, you know what, I really don't want to listen to Do Gritty. Or if it's like a karaoke system, this works out well because, some people tend to back out of the karaoke on you. So they could delete it and suddenly they're gone. All right. So you can see everything updated everywhere for you right there. Okay. So that's generally how the controller works, the actual mobile device. I want to go back to the console to show a couple features here as well. One more feature we missed. Okay, so one really cool feature of the console that we have in here is the ability of playing promo ads. Now, a promo ad can be a commercial, it could be a paid promo spot, it could be the menu of the place, it could be whatever you can imagine it to be. We have the ability for you to upload MP3s, MP4s, and JPEG images, and they can be displayed as advertised and at will by you on the HUD screen. So that's just play ad promo. I'm going to shrink this down so you can actually see what happens. Play ad, and it comes up with a list. Here, minimize again. It comes up with a list of promos I've loaded. Currently, I only have an MP4 loaded. I'm going to show you after this where they get loaded. But here's what happens when you hit play.
The sound of greatness, made fresh, every single day. At Patty's Grill, we don't just flip burgers. We craft legends, stacked high, seared just right, and begging for that first bite. It's the burger you were born to crave. This week only, your dream meal, just $12.99. Patty's Grill, the city's best burger. And now, your best decision.
And as soon as the ad is done, we're back to the HUD being displayed for the users. All right, that's our cue. So anyway, that is generally the functionality of this application. It's both very basic and very powerful at the same time with what it gives you the ability to do. And we're constantly expanding other things onto it. Now, I did want to show you some other things too. I'm going to cut back to my game event. All right, this is what we were talking about, the game event. So when your users are signing into this application through their mobile device, they're generally shown an image of the application icon, the DJ with the record spinning and the little mobile phone sending a music note at them saying run QMC. Now, let's say you want to customize that. You want your own image. You can add that here. You can basically give it an event title, event description, where, when, all this details. This is actually what shows to the player when they're signing in. So you have some control over that. Now, asset media, when we're talking about the promos, this is one area you can add it. You can add it both on the event level if you want to, or on the application level. So my media library or asset library, you can upload MP3s, MP4s, or images, and they will be treated as ads you can use in the system. All my stuff is actually on the My Event library, and I can kind of show it to you here real quick. So if I clicked on that, there's another tab, go here. That's what it looks like. You see, I just generally have that. Wow, what a great moment. What we already saw, all right? So you can add it two different places. I generally recommend doing it here on the application level, just because then if you have multiple games going on, you can reuse that same ad over and over again rather than have to upload it each time. All right, so the other thing we have here, which is kind of useful, is this player lead data. Every requester that signs in with their mobile app becomes an opted-in lead for you. We collect their phone number and a optional email address that we use, and that gets stored in here as well, and you can download that and use it as you wish. And as I said, they are opted in because they do agree all our service when they connect in. And you're clicking here, that will pull down as a what's called a common and delimited list, which you can open in Excel, open in Notepad, whatever you want, and import it to whatever you want. And as I said here, here's the QR code again. If you have players that need to get access into this, generally what they do, show you, They go to this hub gig game en play, and then actually if I take this off, that just took us right in because it opened it with the QR code. But if I just do that, they enter the game code directly and can go in. So if you have some players in which the QR code's not working correctly, which does occasionally happen, they can get to it directly that way. Other things you can do, you can download the QR code, which allows you to print it out manually as you wish. This open as a player, you just saw me do that, where I can actually open the game myself inside the browser and as an actual requester as well. Okay. And beyond that, the other buttons here, launching game host console, that just gets us back into host console that we saw earlier as the, show you this. Updating the game event. That just, we can update it here if we make a change to the title, and then end game, when you're actually done your game, clicking that end game will actually cause it that nobody else can sign in with the QR code anymore. It shuts it down. Okay. Anyway, that's generally the functionality for Run QMC. As I said, we're constantly adding more to this stuff. If you have any specific features you would like to see, please let us know. And thank you for watching. Take care.